Hello. I just moved into my first college dorm, and if you know me, know that I have a lot of stationery. So today I want to talk with you guys about my system for organizing my stationery and setting up my desk space in college so that I can be super productive and still have room for all of my creative endeavors. Disclaimer before this video gets too far into it, the audio may not be amazing because there's an AC unit behind me and I cannot turn it off. So if there's a little buzzing, please ignore that. I moved in here 2 weeks ago, so I've just kind of been making do with the system that I have, putting things in drawers, but it is quite inconvenient to be going into drawers and pulling out bags and unzipping them in order just to find a pen. So I basically did what I have at home and I ordered an art cart for my dorm. Hello, voiceover Sophie here. Before we get into this section of the video, please note that I am not a builder, okay? I'm trying my best, but this was basically just screws and more screws. So I figured that I could do it myself, and it actually was quite successful. If you're new to my channel, hello, welcome. But when I was living at home, I had an art cart that I shared with my sister, and that is how I stored most of my stationery, minus my ephemera, which I put in my desk. So when I took, my minimal amount of stationery to the dorm with me, I figured this would be just a simple way that I'm already comfortable with in storing all of my pens, markers, stickers, washi tape, all that stuff. As you guys can tell, I was super proud that I had finished it, put it together. Nothing was broken, nothing was wobbly. I call that a success. I also decided to go to the container store and grab a couple buckets to put in the top of the art cart to help organize my markers. I found a couple different things that I was interested in, including 3 buckets and a medium-sized crate container, I guess. I also went to Target, picked up a couple necessities that have nothing to do with this video, and now we're on our way back to the dorm. So the most important thing in this video is talking about what stationery did I bring into college. So here's a system that I came up with. I left the Tombow dual brush pens and the Crayola Super Tips for my sister to use at home, and then I took the Ohuhu art markers. So that's water-based markers. The alcohol markers I took are the Sanjohi art markers that I made a video about very recently, and then I left with my sister all the Ohuhu markers that I own. The one thing that I also took was half of the set of Crayola skin tone markers. Those are water-based, but I of course draw a lot of people in my sketchbook, and I also like using a lot of neutrals in my bullet journal, so I wanted to make sure I had some browns and beiges. As far as ephemera goes, I took most of the stamps and stickers and loose leaf paper that we had at home, simply because I scrapbook more than my sister does. Besides that, with the little miscellaneous stuff, I about split 50-50 with the fine liner pens, ballpoint pens. Again, we split 50-50. Okay, so here's the situation we have now. This is the art cart that I built. Probably can't tell, but it is plastic and not metal, but I don't really care, and I like that it's white because obviously there's a lot of brown in here, so this kind of like breaks up all the brown. This is the wrong shade of brown though. It's a little more yellowy, well that's a little more orange, but I don't think I'm actually going to use this for anything because it really just covers up storage space. The intention is you can put it on the top and use it as a tabletop, but I'm not going to use it, so we'll just discard this. This week I've obviously been using it to hold food and my obsession for Pepperidge Farm's many different items. You guys saw me go shopping, so I picked up this 3-tier cart organizer, like this 3 sets, and then I also picked up this medium organizer tray, probably for washi tapes, which I did forget to mention is also something that I brought. I basically just split the washi tapes 50-50 with my sister. She wanted all the colorful ones, I wanted most of the neutral ones, so it worked out really well. Okay, so now let's discuss the drawers in my room. These are the drawers on my desk, and they're actually pretty useful. So this bottom one here is obviously the largest. This is where I'm putting half of my spirals. The other half are in my backpack. But then back here is the rest of my stationery. So this is my box of stickers and ephemera. These are the art markers. And then this bag is what I use to bring all of my washi tapes. And this slightly larger bag is what I use to bring all of my water-based markers. Excuse the mess, but this next drawer is where I put half of my filming equipment, along with the fake foliage, cloths that I use for filming, and then my microphone, extra cords are in here, and then just random clutter. Wow, I'm really exposing myself, aren't I? This last drawer is kind of a junk drawer for immediate needs. Obviously pills, cords. This has my external hard drive in it, stamping stuff, scissors, watercolor set, a stylus for drawing on my iPad, ruler, and then back there just random post-it notes and my Phonemo thermal printer. One of my favorite purchases that I brought to the dorm is this tiny miniature vacuum that I'm actually using a lot more than I thought I would, just for cleaning off surfaces. This was the most unsatisfying peel I could ever do, but after unboxing all of these little containers, I'm just gonna try and organize them and cross my fingers that they fit perfectly or almost perfectly on the top of the tray. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how I want to organize my pens and markers into these, because like I said, I have water-based pens, alcohol pens, and then a couple miscellaneous things like fine liners and calligraphy pens that don't kind of go with all the colors. I'm really glad that the 3 little boxes fit literally perfectly in here. One thing that does bother me is that I can't put my washi tape next to my box of ephemera, but I might be able to mess around with that. For now, I'm thinking these 2 sections I was going to put on the edge, but they were like falling off and messing around like this. So I think if I put them on the edge in the cart, there'll be nothing to like bump it up because it's like in the cart, you know? So if it slides, it's okay, as long as it doesn't come off. One of these is going to be dedicated to my colors of the month, specific markers that I use for a bullet journal setup in that color palette. This one's going to be used for fine liners, calligraphy pens, like those boring black and white ones. And then these 3 I'm going to organize by color. What I'm debating on though is instead of doing like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, because I do have, you know, blacks, browns, grays, rather neutral colors as well. I'm wondering if I should do like warm colors, cool colors, neutrals, or if I need to mix some of these colors with the neutrals because I need more space. So we'll see how that works. But let me just try it and mess with it and see what happens. I was definitely having a little bit of trouble when organizing all the pens here. One thing I realized is I have a lot of blue pens and not many like oranges and yellows, which is more of like just companies, I guess, prefer making pinks and blue colors than like orangey, yellow, green ones. So I just happen to have a not a even amount of those. Other thing was, as I'll show you in a second, the boxes of these containers are actually tapered at the bottom, so they don't all fit completely. There might be space at the top and it looks like there's space for another pen, but at the bottom they're super squished. So I had to move some pens around and put more in the neutral section than I was expecting, just to make sure that each thing was even. But I managed to fit everything in there, and honestly, the lack of extra space is probably better for my stationery buying binging. Well, okay, so I did the best I could. I like really had to squeeze some of them in there. Anyway, but my last thing is I have a couple of little highlighters that I took for taking notes, and then some of these skin colored markers, like I said, that I brought from the Crayola pack. This may change, but I just need a place to temporarily hold them. So I'm just gonna put them right there. Okay, so now that the markers are done, let's do washi tapes. I'm thinking they'll all fit in this box. I don't know if they're gonna fit neatly, but I'm gonna try my best and see if they can all pack in here. Okay, wow, so that actually worked brilliantly. If you guys can see, they're all kind of tucked in there. I did mention I really only brought neutrals, and for some reason, okay, I got a new pack of red washi tape from Stationery Pal, so that's why I have a lot of red in here too, but mostly just browns, blacks, the basics that I will use in pretty much any theme. And then I have a lot of dot stickers in washi tape form right here, which is why they kind of fill up that extra space. And for now, I also put my new label maker in this space since it is available. I can move it later if I need to, but for now, it just kind of helps everything pack in better. Ideally, in my head, I would love to have the stickers and ephemera right next to the washi tape, which is why I was super pissed. Like this huge box that I have that stores everything so nicely doesn't fit. There's like a little gap right here that it won't go in. Okay, so because this box, it's separated into like a lot of miniature boxes that are technically smaller. Let me see if they fit on the side. Oh my gosh, they fit. What if I like vertically stacked these boxes like they're in this box, but on the art cart? It makes for much easier access than having to dig into my drawers to locate these. Okay, brilliant. That actually works rather well. Okay, there are a few more things in this box. Oh gosh, you guys can't see a thing. Okay, so there are a few more things in this box, including sticker bags, envelopes, my old stickers from my Etsy shop that I used to have, and then these packs of stickers that just don't really fit anywhere. I'm going to try and just line them up right here. I mean, that's not bad. That's not ugly at all. Let me put this one in front here because it's visible. These two there, and then my little bag of... Okay, that works really well. Okay, it's not perfect, obviously, because it's still kind of loose leaf. It's not all like together in the box. But I mean, I still have the box, so if I need to bring it somewhere, I can just very easily pack those back in. I really like that, not gonna lie. Everything here for stationery, and on the top row, everything for markers. So like I said a moment ago, I want to put some like basic pens in this one and possibly this one. So this is the pencil bag that I'm using for college. I've been using this for years. My mom made it for me. Shout out mother. And in here, I just have a lot of random junk, like way too many pens to use on the everyday. So this includes like, you know, random pens and calligraphy pens, white gel pens, more fine liners. Okay, and then I have an eraser, a couple things of lead. For now, I'm just gonna dump these in there as well. Okay, so the last few things in here, this is mostly random colors that I bring with me to classes so I can have cutesy colors to decorate my class notes in. Okay, I'm actually gonna put these four in this side with all the colors so it looks like it's a little more put together. These are basically just ones I've been using for class, so I'm gonna put them back in here. Okay, so now it's just a matter of what I'm gonna use to fill this space right here, which is kind of an awkward amount of space, and I don't have any tins to like hold random pens. So I do have a lot of little miscellaneous stationery things I'm thinking I could put here, like for example, my alphabet stamp set, just kind of tuck in somewhere. And with the stamps comes the stamp pad. I also have in this box, which used to be a washi tape collection, but I basically put my Phonemo printer in here because it fits beautifully. I guess I can just slide this in here as well. Like I said, it's an awkward space to work with. Nothing fits perfectly. It's just a matter of like moving and shifting things until it kind of looks intentional. I have this box of clips that I want to use for like my videos. I have this stack of Post-its that I don't really use Post-its that often, but I use them in class for adjusting my notes. Let me see if it fits. Oh, it fits right in there. I have my date stamp, so I'm gonna just slide it in right there. I have a ruler that I don't really know what to do with. Actually, I don't know if you guys can see like the bottom row down here. There is a little gap in between this box. It doesn't fit perfectly. I'm just gonna slip the ruler right in there so it's not super visible, but I know where it is if I need to access it. Okay, what I'm thinking is I have a couple like very little, like very random things, like an extra eraser and an eraser holder that I'm currently not using, but I mean I could use in the future. This is a whiteout from Tombow, Scotch tape, and a dot liner. Maybe I can just kind of line these up in this random spot back here. For now, this works. It's not super pretty when you look up close, but when it's like further away, at least everything is kind of tucked in together, and this is making a lot of good use of vertical storage. Just as final touches, since I had that last row of the cart free, I figured I might as well use it to hold the extra snacks and stuff that I had just sitting on the cart earlier since I had no better place to put them. Another thing is I have a couple cups that are top right corner. It's kind of hard for you to see, but I really did not want them super visible and cluttering everywhere, so I just put them at the bottom of the cart. Easy way to grab them if I need them, but for now they're just put away. The last thing was I had a couple of swatch pages and alcohol marker protection sheets that I just slid in the back of the art cart to keep accessible, but again, not visible. It's my saying for this video. And with that, it's super easy just to tuck this this cart behind my bookshelf, so easy to access, but it just keeps everything super tidy and organized. Okay, so I do really want to talk about tips for organizing in a small space, but first let's kind of just do a little overview here. So I'm really grateful that this just tucks perfectly under like my bed, so I have it lofted to the third setting, which leaves room perfectly for like dresser and microwave, bookshelf, and then art cart with just a little corner of space down here for me to access any of the cords that are kind of like tucked back there. But overall, I think this area is just really neat and tidy, and I like how it just perfectly sets back there, but it obviously is on wheels. If I need to pull it out, I can. The last little thing to really discuss stationery wise is my sketchbooks and bullet journals, which I'm currently just keeping at the bottom of my bookshelf. Up here we have all of the books that I love and adore, but I felt like down the second shelf I wanted to leave room for like the basic stuff. Here I have my main sketchbook, and then my oldest bullet journal all the way to my last bullet journal. My current brown bullet journal that I'm obviously currently using is on my desk because I'm using it. And then I have my extra journals in here that I use for various things. And honestly, if you want a video explaining like what I use all my journals for, because I do have way too many, not just bullet journals, but for other things, let me know and I'll make an entire video about it. Also on this shelf is Joey Box, lotion, Brita, and then of course like all my books like I mentioned. But tucked down here, it's right next to the art card, so again, easy access and it works great. So I've only been here for 2 weeks, but I have a couple tips that I want to talk about for organizing in a small space, because I actually do have a roommate. I haven't been showing her side of the room obviously, but I only have this section really that I have room to organize with. The first thing I want to talk about is compartmentalizing. So this seems pretty obvious, but I have different spaces in my space for different things. This is why I wanted to put all of the stationery on the art card, kind of keep it all together, and then in each compartment or category, whatever, I have even smaller compartments, like compartmentalizing the different types of pens or compartmentalizing the different types of sticker sheets in their own boxes, even though they are like tucked together in like one general sticker area. By breaking things down into smaller and smaller sections, this helps things not get super cluttered all over the place, and this is going to make it super easy. Also, when I like pull out my stuff, I know exactly where to put it back. Number 2, I think it's really important to have quick access to the things you need on a daily or really frequently. So all the chargers are right next to my desk because I need my electronics every day, so I have them on the corner of my desk, always plugged in but always at reach. I have my vitamins and pills in the top drawer because I need them every day and I want to make sure they're in quick access but not visible. All of my pens I have at the top of the art cart, not the bottom, because I use the pens all the time. And if I need something specific, I want to be able to go and grab it. I don't want to have to go like searching for it. The last thing I want to talk about is a cart just like this. I think it's super helpful for any college student or any person in a small space like a dorm. It, number 1, is vertical storage, which is really necessary when you are in a small space. Another thing is obviously it's on wheels, so it's movable. You can use it for whatever you need to, but it's not damaging the walls. It's not shelving. It's not like permanent in its spot like a dresser. Super helpful. Appliances, food, school supplies, anything that you need it for, I think it's super helpful. This is not sponsored in any way, but I've used art carts like this now twice, and I think they are just so helpful. So I'll link the specific card that I used here in the description box below if you want to check it out. Again, non-sponsored, but I love it. I think it's really helpful. This is what my room looks like now, or my half of it. If you haven't noticed, there is a lot of greenery everywhere. I put vines around the edge of my bed. I have green on my comforter. I have fake plants on my desk. And I think that the green / the brownish beige / a little pop of white works really well together. And so it's a small space, but I think it looks really beautiful because it's just simple, minimal, clean, and organized. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to go subscribe down below. I post weekly bullet journal and productivity videos, and next week's video is highly anticipated, okay? So I cannot wait to share it with you all. In the meantime, once you've subscribed, definitely check out this video here on the screen. It was my last week's video where I set up my bullet journal for September, and I love how that setup turned out. Have an amazing week.